Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and we have yet another update in all of the shenanigans going on with old Amberlynn Reed and Erica / Valentine and Erica's wife Brittany. We have actually quite a few updates, but today for this video we're gonna focus just on Amberlynn uploading her side of the story. Because, honestly, truly, she did a live stream and it was nearly 2.5 hours long, and I did watch it on, like, 2 times speed, and I just struggled, like, it took me a long time to get through it. I had to take lots of breaks. It's probably more on me than it is anybody else. Like, my brain just doesn't operate in a world where I can sit and listen to Amberlynn for, it was really, like, 2 hours and 20 minutes. My brain wouldn't let me just sit there for the length of her live stream and do it all in one setting, and also sit here and take notes about what she said and what I want to say about what she said. So it's just like taking me all day. So I'm gonna cover her live stream, and then I also know that Erica and Brittany did another live stream with Oh Lordy It's Jordy last night as well, and I will cover that in another video. I've heard like mixed feelings about it based on what I've seen from people. It's like, oh, there were some things that were revealed. There were some things that weren't revealed. It seems like a lot of people on both sides of this thing are just irritated that there's like no actual proof of anything. It's a lot of he said, she said at this point. And I'll say that, at least on Amberlynn's side from this live stream, she doesn't actually show anything that's proof. It's strictly like you gotta take Amberlynn's word for it. And I mean, I think we all know that Amberlynn's word ain't worth fucking much on YouTube. There are 2 small things that I wanted to address based on, like, I don't know, conversation from my last video where I covered Brittany and Erica coming forward about their story. I know a lot of people are very concerned that this is just like a big old distraction from Tommy, and I get where that comes from, really, truly. It does just make me giggle a little bit, though, because y'all aren't gonna let Amberlynn forget about Tommy. I don't think anybody in this community is gonna let Amberlynn forget about Tommy. I mean, I was literally looking at the chat while I was watching this live stream of hers, and people were bringing up Tommy every 2 seconds. She only ultimately ends up briefly addressing Tommy once, like at least by name. And so I know y'all aren't gonna let her forget about it, and I think it's okay for us to talk about this right now because it's also crazy. It's also fucking absurd. And I think we can talk about that now, and then we can return. We can return to grilling Amberlynn Reed about Tommy, if she's still in a relationship with Tommy, whoever, whatever. And I do think it's Amberlynn's intention to bring all of this up, and we'll talk about this more once we get to the live stream, but like, I do think it's Amberlynn's intention that she started all of this to get the attention away from Tommy. I think it's also worth noting that I saw a screenshot posted from Apathetic Facts' community tab, I think, where apparently somebody reached out to Tommy Salami, Emily, Willow, whatever we're calling her, whatever her name is, and reached out to her in the DMs to ask her about why she followed Brittany. And she essentially was like, well, I'm just trying to get in touch with Brittany to see, you know, like when Erica was talking to Amberlynn and if that overlapped with when I was talking to Amberlynn. Which to me suggests that the only reason that Tommy would even need to care about that is if she's even still in a relationship with Amberlynn, because if y'all are broken up, who really fucking gives a shit? You knew her for a month or whatever, according to Amberlynn. But I don't know, that's just my thoughts and my feelings after seeing that screenshot. I also just want to say that I am glad that many people agreed that everybody in this situation is awful. I mean, like, I think it's also important to note that obviously everybody is awful in different ways and to varying degrees, but like, I was kind of surprised. It kind of felt like the situation type of deal where people would just automatically want to like champion Erica and Brittany because, you know, they did something to expose Amberlynn and everybody hates Amberlynn, so like they're heroes. But I think it's clear that they're not great, and Amberlynn is also not great for, as you're going to see, admitting that she stayed in a relationship that was an affair. So anyways, yeah, I will get back to the further content that was given to us by Erica and Brittany at a later date. I also know that there's been some community tab posts from Brittany about various things, maybe alluding to her really not trusting Erica anymore, this, that, the other. I'm going to save that for a separate video. We are just going to get down to business when it comes to this Amberlynn live stream, because if I'm being honest with you, I also had a really time paring down like how much I wanted to talk about. Now the only interesting stuff that she talks about really only happens in the first hour of the live stream. The second hour and 20 minutes of the live stream is more so just like her answering random questions that sometimes repeats things that she's already said in the live stream, and her also spending a lot of time texting people on the phone and things like that, where she's just like not even fully paying attention to the live stream anyways. So really, truly, this is mostly going to be focused on the first hour, but I somehow have like 5 pages of notes here. I somehow have 5 pages, so I'm gonna try to speed run this, because I know I yap a lot. I know I'm a yapper, and I do also know that a lot of people like the longer videos too, but I'm just gonna do my best, alright, besties? So what I'll say about the live stream to get started is that I'm thrilled that she at least used her own channel, her own platform to do it. I think, like, she needs to take control of her narrative, which means getting her story out to as many of her followers as possible. And so when I saw that she wanted to go on Jordy's live stream, there's a point that she was maybe gonna go on Yo Mama's live stream, this, that, the other. I was just like, that doesn't make any sense, Amberlynn, because your followers find you on your own channel. Like, if you really want to get your own story out, and this isn't shade to Jordy or Yo Mama or any other reaction channel that could potentially, you know, like, have her on as a guest, but like, if she wants to get her story out to her audience, like, why would you not do that on your own channel where you have 238,000 subscribers? It makes sense to me that Brittany and Erica would want to go to a reaction channel that has more subscribers to them so that they could get their story out to more people. Like, I do understand that. I also think they could have just done their own YouTube channel to begin with, but I understand that a lot more. Amberlynn going on to these smaller channels and speaking her piece, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense from a perspective of, like, if you want people to hear your story, why are you not doing it from your channel? So I'm glad she did. I'm glad after all was said and done, that's where she ended up. I will say, I don't think a live stream was the best way to do it. I think, honestly, truly, for her to be consistent and for people to, like, stay engaged, it would have made so much more sense to just sit down and do a pre-recorded video about it. There were so many distractions in her live stream. Not that I can talk. When I live stream, I also get distracted a lot. But I'm also not sitting down to, like, have an important, serious conversation about an affair that I was involved in. So I think there's a little bit of a difference there. What I'm saying is I understand that live streams are not a great avenue for content like that, right? Like, you want people to hear you uninterrupted, hear your whole story, and yet she was getting distracted because she had ads turned on, so ads were playing, so she was stopping every time an ad played so that nobody missed parts of the story. She was constantly getting text messages. We'll talk about this too, but at one point her fucking friend Alexis pops up out of fucking nowhere and is on a FaceTime call with her for the entirety of the whole goddamn live stream. It's just, there were so many distractions that for me, for my brain, I already told you, my brain was already struggling to begin with. It was very hard to keep up, and just very also difficult when people were asking her questions she's already answered. Like, if it was just a recorded video, people could watch in their own time and get it straight from her, but instead people wanted to jump in the live and ask questions that had already been answered. Just a lot of repeating of things. It was just a lot. She also, speaking of the ads, talks about monetizing the fuck out of her story.
I did press to monetize, obviously, because, girl, we're gonna monetize the fuck out of this, because Jordy monetized the fuck out of my story. That's most reaction channels do. So it's my turn.
And I honestly, truly just want to say I have obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious, but I just don't have any problem with her doing that whatsoever. I've been advocating for her to do that because, like, it makes no sense to me that she would let all these other people monetize her story and wouldn't do anything herself. I just wish that there was a way that she could have done it without interrupting us every few minutes to be like, well, there's an ad playing, I gotta stop talking. But what I will say about like the reaction channel thing, and I meant to say this in my video yesterday, and I meant to say it today too, and I just now remembered as well, but like, it also doesn't make sense to me that she was even entertaining the idea of going on a reaction channel, because don't y'all remember when she revealed Erica's name to begin with? In that very video, she was talking about how YouTube was ruining her life, and in particular, reaction channels were really ruining her life. So like, why do you want to go on a reaction channel to tell your side of the story? If said reaction channel is ruining your life, it doesn't make any damn sense to me. Anyways, let's get into the actual live stream. She starts it off and she seems kind of like nervous / giddy, which would make sense to me to some extent, but then she very quickly goes into crying.
Sorry, it's gonna be fine. I just want to make it like very clear that like the only reason why I ever said Erica's name is because like a family was being like harassed because people thought like Valentine was someone that she wasn't.
And she also goes on to like talk about and explain, you know, like why she even said Erica's name to begin with, and it had something to do with like some family being harassed. I mean, I guess presumably, like if I'm using my context clues and my understanding of this situation, I would guess she's talking about either Tommy's family or Tommy's late partner's family, but she never explicitly says that. And all of this is so confusing because Amberlynn at this point, if I'm being honest with you, I think Amberlynn at this point just expects that everybody who watches her is also watching 12 other reaction channels that cover her and talk about all the things, because she comes on and starts talking about all of this drama and stuff that's happening in her life as if everybody already knows exactly what she's talking about. And I honestly, personally, am very confused because I don't feel like she ever explicitly said like whose family was getting harassed, why, and or what that even has to do with Valentine and why she needed to expose Valentine's real life name. Like, were people messaging Tommy's late partner's family because they wanted to ask them if they knew if Tommy was Valentine? Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me because, like, why would they know that information? And I mean, I think we can all agree or all, like, feel pretty confident that really what it has to do with Valentine is that Amberlynn just wanted to shift the conversation to something that wasn't Tommy, to something that wasn't Tommy's late partner. And so the best way she could do that is cause this shitstorm and circus surrounding Valentine and Erica. I will say much later in the chat during the portion that she called a Q&A, she did inform us that she felt coerced into saying Erica's name.
Someone said, I'm not sure why you even brought her name up, because I wanted to prove that I wasn't lying and that timelines weren't combobulated, because I felt like coerced into revealing information that I don't want to share. And it just seems like that always happens with every single like situation. I'm just like, I try so hard to keep like a private life, and it's just like I'm constantly coerced into, I know I'm pronouncing that weird, don't come for me, you guys know who I am, into like revealing more information about things that I don't want to.
Why she felt coerced, I have no idea. She never really explicitly said. She never mentioned anybody having a gun to her head. She never mentioned anything about why she felt pressured into saying Erica's name or exposing that. It's still a mystery to me. It seems very vague, and honestly, truly, I feel like she just felt like it was like a response, a reactive response to like, how do I get people to stop talking about my feeder girlfriend? It's also interesting because old Semantics Lynn is back at it again and trying to claim that she didn't spill any personal information about Erica and her wife. She just said Erica's name and said that she had a wife.
It's like, I know that I promised Erica and Brittany that I would not say Erica's name And I didn't say Erica's name ever for like a way to get back at her or whatever it is. I wasn't doing it in like a malicious way. No, I was doing it because I felt like it was the right thing to do for Erica and her wife to do whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know what this is about. I never doxed Erica. I never said any like personal information, nothing.
Which is also confusing to me because based on, Apathetic Facts' video with all the voice memos and the recording from Brittany, it's clear that Amberlynn already knew that it was a problem for Erica and Brittany for Amberlynn to even allude to things that happened in her relationship with Erica. Because the whole reason for that phone call that was recorded was because Amberlynn was like hinting at things about Erica through TikToks and things in her videos. And it's also pretty clear that Amberlynn knew that Brittany said she would make like a circus out of all of this if Amberlynn came out and talked about them. She said, I'll make a circus out of this for you. I got receipts, I got screenshots, I got this, that, the other. And it's just like, what did you expect? I will say, I'm going to need to start seeing some of those receipts and screenshots and things like that. I'm just being clear about that. But like, I don't know what Amberlynn really expected from saying Erica's name in a video. Actually, I think this is exactly what she expected, honestly. It's a big kerfuffle, and she gets to put old Tommy Salami on the back burner for a little bit so she can try to figure out whatever's going on with that mess. So then the part that I'm just like, you can't be serious. This is not real. This is not fucking real. Is that Amberlynn says that Erica saw one of Amberlynn's TikToks in a video of mine.
I guess she saw one of my TikToks on Zachary Michael's channel. And because Zachary Michael was talking about my TikToks, like reacting to them. And in one of them, I said how I didn't have a type, but I really liked mask and possessive women. And Erica saw that TikTok and she messaged me and said mask and possessive ? Like a little devil emoji.
I literally burst out laughing whenever I heard this part of it, because I was like, this is wild. This is wild to me. And the fact that she knew about Amberlynn's TikTok, not because she's looking at Amberlynn's TikTok page, but because she saw it in my video. Amberlynn, girl, that should have been the first fucking red flag. And on top of that, multiple times during this live stream, Amberlynn does acknowledge that Erica was always honest and upfront from the beginning about being a hater.
Even before Erica asked me to be her girlfriend, I knew that she was once a hater. Yes, Erica used to be a hater. Her and her wife would watch me all the time together. Like Zachary Michael was actually their go-to channel. And Erica was like, I believed everything the reaction channel said. And I'm like, I get that.
Why, Amberlynn, are you engaging with a woman who acknowledges she watches reaction channels and she didn't fucking like your ass? And in particular, a reaction channel, me, that you have been on the record before saying you don't like me. And I also just want to say that the TikTok in particular was one where Amberlynn was saying that her type was mask and possessive. And I'm just like, in hindsight, she's like, oh, my type is possessive. And also Erica was like, I'm possessive. And y'all really looked at each other and said, somebody gonna match my freak? Like, okay, all right. I also have to say, I do the New York Times, like, daily games, like, little mini games every day. And today, one of the words in the New York Times Connections game was possessive. And all I could fucking think about was Amberlynn already. And this just made me think about it more. I also want to say, if anybody's watching my channel right now, right in this very moment, and you see something from Miss Amberlynn Reed while you're watching my channel, and you say, wow, something about Amberlynn here just really makes me want to slide into her DMs and have a long-lasting relationship where we send each other sexual videos and buy each other gifts and things like that, stop. Please stop immediately. Go directly to jail. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. How could somebody be a Zachary Michael viewer and not hear me say over and over and over again that y'all should not be interfering in the lives of fucking Amberlynn Reid and Chantal and think, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna interfere in the lives of Amberlynn Reid. Because honestly, Erica and Brittany, you're playing a game of fuck around and find out. And now I'm sitting here dragging your ass too, okay? I think it's weird. Y'all are weird. And I've said that about people like Kybella before. I think Kybella was weird. You know, the girl who slid into Chantal's husband's DMs. Y'all are weird if y'all are going out and getting involved in their lives like that. Sit back and watch the train wreck like the rest of us. Eat your popcorn and mind your manners. Now, Amberlynn does go on to reiterate what we heard from Erica and Brittany, which is that originally Amberlynn thought that they were in like a financial marriage, like they were strictly sticking together just for financial reasons. But she also adds that for a large part of her relationship with Erica, she was under the impression that the marriage was open.
When me and her first started talking, she told me that she was married, but she was married for financial reasons and that they were in an open marriage and that her wife didn't even live with her. Her wife was living with her partner.
Now, I would like to see some proof. I mean, pretty much apply that to anything I'm talking about today because there were no screenshots, no text messages shown, no nothing. But I do think if Amberlynn thought for a good chunk of time that the marriage was open, that would change my opinions on at least the first part of the relationship. We'll talk about the end of the relationship, but that would change some things for me. I have a lot of friends who are in open relationships, who have a lot of trust between their partners and things like that. To be clear, that's not what it seems like is going on for Erica and Brittany, but like, I'm very supportive of people who have open relationships, who are polyamorous, that, the other. Basically, you want to have any kind of like non-traditional relationship structure. I'm down for it as long as everybody's consenting. I do still think I have a lot of other questions about that though, because, you know, we know that she was upset with Erica for still sleeping with her wife. She even actually alludes to that a few times in this live stream as well. She's like, I didn't think that they were sleeping together, but like if you have an open marriage, that means you still probably have relationships with each other too. But it also just reminds me of how much of a deal breaker it was for her that wifey was polyamorous, if you recall. Amberlynn does also admit that Erica was correct that at the time of them beginning to talk, she was also talking to some other women as well because she was single. And for me, the only thing that was interesting about that is that it basically confirmed that Danielle was a real person, and Erica also said that Danielle was in a marriage as well. But Amberlynn, much later in the stream, claims that Danielle was not married and has nothing to do with this situation.
So address Danielle, who's also married. Danielle is not married. A, Danielle is not married. And B, Danielle has nothing to do with this conversation.
I don't know that I fully believe that, but that's what Amberlynn said. And like I said, a lot of this, there's no screenshot proof, there's no messages shown, but Amberlynn claims that she's not one to show screenshots, but also that she hasn't deleted a single message that they've exchanged.
Like, I'm not one to show screenshots, but I'm telling you, I have not deleted a single text message that her and I have exchanged. I have not deleted a single Instagram message, nothing.
First of all, you literally just shared text message screenshots, not necessarily with Erica, but you just showed them in the last video you posted on your channel. Second of all, you've definitely shown screenshots on your channel before. And third of all, at this point, just fucking show them. Like, Brittany literally played and shared a full-ass recorded phone call that she took without you knowing. So why don't you put her on blast right on back? We also find out that there was a time where Amberlynn got drunk and texted Erica that she loved her.
She was just like, she would express like how her feelings for me are getting deeper and deeper. So there was one night in particular where I did get drunk. I did. And I was actually on the phone with Alexis and I was messaging Erica and I told Erica that I loved her. This was like in December. And that was like the first time that I ever said it, which was freaking crazy.
But at the same time acknowledged something was off. So she just ignored it.
Sometimes my intuition and my gut was screaming and it was on fire and all of that. So, you know, I guess there was a part of me that was like, Amberlynn, like something's off. Something's off. But like I was ignoring it. You guys, in one of my recent videos, I told you guys like I ignore red flags.
Now at this point, I just want to do a little colorblind test with you, Amberlynn. What color is this? What color is this? What color is this blanket? This is a blanket that Poe sleeps on. If y'all don't know, Poe is my dog. If y'all don't know, dogs are colorblind. So Poe couldn't tell you what color the blanket is that he sleeps on. But I'm here to tell you this is red. This is a red flag, Amberlynn. A red fucking flag. Learn it. Learn it, bestie. You need to learn what this color looks like because you are so bad at it. Apparently there was a moment where they stopped communicating with each other briefly, and Amberlynn says it's actually because Erica was upset about Amberlynn talking to another girl.
And I do want to make it clear that in Erica's story, she said that we stopped talking for a little bit. Literally, the only reason why we stopped talking is because she got mad at me because I actually started communicating more frequently with another girl. And she got upset about that.
And I don't know, when Amberlynn said this, I'm like, I really do believe that Erica is or was way more invested in this relationship with Amberlynn than she's like telling us in hindsight. I think Amberlynn is probably a little bit onto something, that she's downplaying a lot of her feelings because she's trying to save whatever it is that she has going on with Brittany. Like, a lot of this seemed to go on for way too long and got way too serious for this to just be a long, elaborate troll. And I do think Erica did say, at least in Jordy's live stream, that, you know, things got more serious than she anticipated and this, that, the other. But I do believe that Erica had some kind of feelings as well. And if it really was just a troll the whole entire time, that was still a choice. and not a good one. Also, Amberlynn claimed that Erica just couldn't get enough of her.
She came back to me a few times. Just saying. I'm not trying to be cocky, but she literally couldn't get enough.
And all I could think is, can you even imagine? Can you even imagine not being able to get enough of Amberlynn Reed? I think there's enough of Amberlynn Reed. Like, I think we can get plenty. More than I would probably want, to be honest. Amberlynn also talks about how she felt like Erica was manipulating her with love bombing.
Just typical standard, now that how I'm viewing it, straight up like manipulation, love bombing type deal.
Which I think is an interesting choice of word for Amberlynn to use, because Amberlynn has often been accused of like manipulating her partners through love bombing them. I mean, if you really want to go all the way back to fucking Destiny era, right before they broke up, Amberlynn love bombed her with like 1,200 Christmas presents to try to get her to stay. So like, Amberlynn herself has a history of manipulation via love bombing. So it's interesting to hear her talk about somebody else that way. And on top of that, I think it's just like highly possible and clear that everybody in this situation has some level of manipulation involved. Like, they're all manipulating. And Amberlynn even points that out about Brittany and her self-proclaimed title of therapist.
They watched me for, over 5 years. They knew my mental health. They knew my mental state. They knew who I was. They knew that I had BPD. They knew these things, and a therapist still chose to troll me. What is that?
If you recall, yesterday I talked about how Erica felt like she was forced into a relationship with Amberlynn. And I was kind of skeptical of that because I'm like, well, girl, like, it's literally, you never met her in real life. Like, you did, like, I don't understand how you were forced. I'm going to need to understand that better. And Amberlynn also denies that she forced Erica into a relationship with her.
She agreed to it. She's like, yeah, like, do you want to be my girlfriend? You know, I felt like that was a mature conversation that I'm now seeing, like, she took it, like, in a different way. And she's saying, like, how I forced her to be in a relationship with me, that's crazy.
And we haven't seen screenshots. I'm inclined to agree because I don't really understand how, like, one person who's in a completely different state can force you to do anything. But I do understand the level of, like, emotional manipulation that can happen. And it's possible that Amberlynn did say or do things that were emotionally manipulative to push her to that point. I just also feel like literally log off. I mean, honestly, all three parties involved in this need to log off, if we're being honest. At the time, if you really didn't want to be in that relationship, like, block her number and log off. Apparently, Erica and Brittany are both alleged cheaters as far as Amberlynn is concerned or shares in this video.
Erica is a known liar and a known cheater. She has cheated on Brittany multiple times, like so many times. And Erica told me everything about their marriage, about all of the times she's cheated. Brittany's a cheater. Their marriage is a mess. Their marriage is a fucking mess.
I need to see receipts. Amberlynn at the time of the original clip didn't really go into detail, but then at the very end of the live stream, she briefly talked about some kind of, like, Facebook cheating that maybe Erica was involved in at one time.
Well, it turns out that Erica was caught on Facebook Messenger cheating, literally doing exactly what she was doing with me, but on Facebook Messenger with another woman. And Brittany said, I'm done. I'm going to go live with my parents.
And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Erica is a cheater. The way that they've all talked about this situation, it sounds like, I don't know, stories about serial cheaters that I've heard. But I have to say, once again, for Miss Amberlynn Reid, if you knew that Erica was this serial cheater, this, like, woman who just couldn't stop cheating on her wife, that's a huge red flag. That's huge red flag. Like, I feel like that just speaks to you being so desperate for love and attention from a woman. Like, please start seeing these red flags, Amberlynn. And I said this about Erica and Brittany yesterday, but I'll say it about you too, Amberlynn. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So at one point, Amberlynn explains that, like, she started having some questions about why Erica wouldn't tell Brittany about her if they were in an open relationship. And I was kind of gagged by what Amberlynn said about it.
I was always questioning, why can't you tell your wife about me if you're in an open relationship? Like, I don't understand. That was another thing in my brain and in my gut and in my intuition where I was like, something doesn't seem right. So I would always ask, like, why can't you tell her about me? And she's like, I just don't want to hear it. Like, I just don't want to hear what Brittany's going to say about me being with Amberlynn. Da, da, da. And then I understood. It made sense because I was like, okay, because you guys used to hate watch me. So you don't want Brittany to make fun of you.
Like, girl, you really wrote off that red flag because you were like, well, yeah, I totally understand that Erica would be embarrassed to be in a relationship with the Amberlynn Reid from the YouTube.com. Like, that totally makes sense. I'll write off that red flag. I'll write it off. Like, well, I'm not me knocking shit off of my shelves, but she wrote it off because she understood that somebody would be embarrassed to be in a relationship with her, which is probably a red flag about her own, like, about her as a person too. Now, we did get a little small tiny brief update about semaglutide, which I do know some people really do care about, but she briefly addresses it and wants y'all to know she's not gaining weight. She's actually losing.
Someone said address the Ozempic. Literally, semaglutide did stop working, but you guys, I'm not gaining weight. I'm actually losing weight. There was a video that I was going to post, which had a weigh-in. But then just like this whole fucking Erica thing started happening, and I didn't post the video. But I could show you guys a clip of the weigh-in, like in this video. I'm low-key sad about it.
And she does actually also include a clip of it much later in the stream as well.
That was when I was on semaglutide. So today, here's the weigh-in. All right, I'm gonna turn on the scale.
Hello, it's ready.
I'm stepping on.
467.8 pounds. Oh my God. 467.8. So that means I'm actually down weight, and I had a feeling I was going to be because, like I said,
so I was 467.8 last time I weighed myself.
What's funny to me is that this was supposed to be the video that she was going to post immediately following the video where she talked about breaking up with Tommy Salami the feeder. And honestly, that would have been so fucking rich to be like, sorry haters, I know I was dating a feeder, but look how much of a skinny legend I am. Look at me. Maybe the best diet is dating a feeder because I lost weight. But yeah, the semaglutide arc is officially over, so pour one out for her. We're not going to do the whole funeral garb and everything because I just ain't got the time. We got a lot to cover today. But you can pour out a drink for old semaglutide. It also is still very wild to me that she like literally was about to do a sponsorship related to her taking semaglutide. Like that's funny as hell that she was going to do that sponsorship and then she wasn't. Actually, honestly, in hindsight, I'm like, did she stop that sponsorship because she knew she wasn't gonna keep taking it? like nuts. And then also on top of all of that, her like the downfall of semaglutide was kind of like happening simultaneously while this breakup with Erica was happening, and she then jumped into the relationship with Tommy. So I know a lot of people have also speculated like, oh, Erica's this like buff girly pop who her whole Instagram is her going to CrossFit and shit like that. And so, of course, Amberlynn was on this, like, protein kick and this Ozempic kick and this, that, the other. And then she starts dating a feeder and it all goes to the wayside. And it's also very weird to me that she kept saying throughout the video that, you know, like, this was what she was going to post, but then all this Erica stuff happened. But then it's like the only reason the Erica stuff even happened is because you made a video and said Erica's real life name. Like, you didn't have to do all that. Like, she keeps blaming the Erica stuff for like derailing stuff in her life, and it's like this kind of sort of started because of you. Like, you're the one that brought attention to old Erica. People in Grow World didn't even know her real name until you told us. Anyways, we get to find out that Amberlynn and Erica had a daily routine which included daily sex. Sex all the time.
So Erica and I formed a routine. Every single morning, she would call me and we would talk for hours. And during those phone calls, this is going to be TMI, but this is when our relationship got extremely sexual. I'm telling you, we would have video sex, whatever, I don't know what you guys want to call it, but it was crazy. It was a lot. It was daily. On top of that, she was sending me sexual videos and photos. I was sending her sexual videos and photos. We were getting very close in that way.
And when she says she's extremely sexual, I think she just means as sexual as one can get in a long distance relationship, because as a reminder, she never met Erica in real life. But yes, we always love to get reminded that Amberlynn is allegedly sexually active. And in fact, actually, some of that like video exchanging that she did with Erica is what led to Amberlynn having questions about how involved Erica was in Brittany's life still.
During one of the videos that she sent me of her touching herself, I saw her wife's slipper in her foot right next to Erica. I'm telling you, like touching her leg while Erica was touching herself. And I was like, let me rewatch this video. And I had to like zoom in. I had to like, I was shook.
And Amberlynn says, you know, I will never like post any kind of like nudes or things as revenge. And I think that that's great. But then she also says, if Brittany wants to show my tit, then she can.
I heard that Brittany, a therapist might add, is threatening to show those things of me. Go for it. Like, show my tit.
And I need to be honest with you, I really don't need to see any of that, and I pray. I'm an atheist, but I pray that nobody shares any of that stuff because I don't want to see it personally. But I am also like, just one tit? It was just one boob that you sent, Erica. Anyways, that all led to Amberlynn and Erica having a discussion where Amberlynn was allegedly allowed to ask Erica anything she wanted about her relationship with Brittany. And Amberlynn's very first question is, are you really in an open relationship? And that's when Erica admitted that it was a real marriage. So according to Amberlynn, that happened in like maybe April, and yet she continued that relationship all the way until June. And I will say that Amberlynn, I think, does a good job of saying like, I am at fault for this. I should not have actually stayed in the relationship after that point.
This is where I'm in the wrong. I stayed with Erica when she said that she was in a marriage and that her wife would feel betrayed if she found out. I stayed with her. And I stayed with her. I'm not going to make excuses. I know I'm a shitty person. I know I'm fucked up. I know I'm all those things. And I take full fucking accountability, 1,000,000,000%. And every day I felt like shit because of it. Every day.
And she said it multiple times throughout the stream, not just that one clip, but like for brevity reasons, we're only including that one clip. But I think the challenge she's gonna face is like, one, I think a lot of people anticipate that she'll make mistakes like this again. And two, that's just because of like, you know, the patterns of her own behavior. But then two, I think a lot of people are probably rightfully still irritated because when she, you know, presented all of this Valentine, like the initial Valentine breakup, she was like, oh my God, I learned that Valentine was leading a double life. A double life, I had no idea. And at that time, I don't even think that the double life mentioned was marriage, but obviously that's what she's talking about. And it's like, throughout the entire relationship, you knew she was married. And then for a good chunk of the end part of the relationship, you knew that it wasn't an open marriage. So regardless, you're engaging in some piss poor behavior. And that's not how you initially, brought it up to your community. And you're only bringing it up to your community now because you need people to stop talking about Tommy. But she does say that by the time that she found out about all of that, it was too serious and she was too fucked up to say goodbye to Erica.
And then by the fucking time you told me that you're in a real life marriage, I was too fucked up to say bye. Like, it's wrong. Like, I hate more than anything blaming my BPD. But if anyone knows a damn thing about it, one thing, especially for me, is that I get a favorite person. I don't know the clinical term for this. I should seek therapy. I understand. Erica was that for me.
Now, she talks a lot about BPD at that part of the live stream and also later in the live stream. Specifically, you just heard her talk about how she had BPD and that means she has a favorite person, but she doesn't even know if that's the technical name for it, like the clinical name for it, because she's never talked to an actual medical professional about this. And at multiple times during the live stream, she acknowledges she should seek therapy. And I'm just like, great, log off and do it, bestie. Like, your diagnosis is an explanation for your behavior, but not an excuse. And you can't just continue to use it to explain your behavior and do nothing to change that behavior and expect people to just be chill with it. Like, we can understand more about you. It can even maybe give some people empathy towards you. But like, ultimately, if you just keep repeating that behavior while you know and acknowledge why the behavior's happening and do nothing to change it, like, that isn't a way to treat other people in your life. Or really, truly yourself, if we're being honest. Like, the longer that this goes untreated, the longer you're gonna find yourself in relationships with people like Erica and Tommy. And she, again, in this live stream, acknowledges she doesn't have control of it, but that she's somehow gotten better without going to therapy.
No, I don't have control over my BPD fully. I don't. But I've improved so much. And I'm not gonna take away from that. Like, I really, really have.
And she also at one point has the nerve to say that everybody in this situation needs to go to therapy.
I'm not the only one who needs therapy, like, for real, for real.
And later says that she doesn't have a therapist herself.
Do I have a therapist? No.
And I'm just like, I agree. I agree. Brittany and Erica clearly need lots of therapy and or probably other things as well. But like, please seek therapy for yourself first before you're like going out there and recommending it for other people. Now, it's around the time that she finds the video that had Brittany's foot in it that we magically hear fucking Alexis's voice in the background.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Alexis, okay, let's be so for real. Alexis is on my FaceTime right now, emotional support animal. What are you talking about? Just text me.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
So this girly pop has been on FaceTime with Amberlynn this whole time for emotional support, apparently. Allegedly. And I just gotta tell you, I've been trying to avoid this girly pop forever. People have sent me screenshots of her Facebook, screenshots of her TikToks, this, that, the other, and I'm like, I just get weird vibes from her. They're annoying vibes. I don't want anything to do with her. So I need y'all to know that I've done my best to just ignore her existence, but now she's fully in this live stream. And this really reminds me a lot of like when Amberlynn forced Beck to sit in live streams with her even after she broke up with Beck. Because Amberlynn has talked about before how like live streams really give her a lot of anxiety and this, that, the other, and she needs support in them. Which is just honestly another reason why I don't understand why she wouldn't just post a recorded video of herself addressing all of this nonsense and issue, because she could be, you know, like she could be a lot more calm. She wouldn't have the anxiety of the chat going and saying maybe awful things about her, and she could really just focus on telling her story. And what's also annoying about Alexis is that, you know, Amberlynn really wants Alexis to be a thing, and Alexis is not ever going to happen, but she tries to convince us that we would be so obsessed with Alexis. We would just love her so much.
You guys would be obsessed with her and love her so much. And I know a large part of you just wants, like, a large part of you just want to hate anyone who loves me. But I promise you guys would be obsessed with her. It's crazy.
But yeah, she's really just giving annoying vibes, Amber. I don't know how else to say it. Like, her whole presence in this live stream was annoying to me as a concept. At one point, Amberlynn says, "Brittany, you deserve better. Can you believe your wife fell for me?"
You deserve better. I'm Amberlynn Reed, and Erica fell for me. Me. Like, that has to suck.
Which, again, is just like, it's so funny to me that she's trying to burn somebody while just also severely roasting herself. And eventually the topic of Erica moving in with her comes up, and I believe a lot of Amberlynn's story, because a lot of it does actually match up with how Erica was talking about it. The part that Amberlynn disputes is that, like, Erica played it off like she never had any intentions to actually move in, and Amberlynn's like, no, you were making plans with me. Like, you fully had a plan of leaving your home and leaving a note for your wife.
But she was telling me that she was going to write her wife a note, tell her, like, this sounds psycho. It really does. I guess we're both crazy, truly. And I'm here to just, like, be like, I fucked up, because I did. Like, I genuinely know that I did. But she was going to, like, leave the house to her wife and all of this. Like, she had it all planned, but yet telling me that it's not true.
And they also talk about the Life 360, and Amberlynn confirms that it all did happen, that she was on Erica's Life 360 and vice versa. And the more I learn about couples having this Life 360 thing, the more questions I have, because quite honestly, I have been in a relationship for 7 years, and I can't imagine a world where, like, I need to know where my partner is at any given time of the day. And also, maybe that's because, like, we regularly text, and like Noel normally tells me like, hey, I'm going to this place, and I trust that that's where he's going. It's not like we're not communicating to each other about where we are. Like if I'm walking home from the bus or the train, I'll be like, hey, I'm starting my walk home just so I get home safely and things like that. But it just, those things, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The one thing I'll say is maybe I don't get is that I know like navigating the world as a woman is a much different experience than what I've been socialized to do. And I could see a world where, you use an app like that for safety. But I just also don't get the sense that that's entirely what this is about. Like between Erica, Brittany, and Amberlynn, it sounds like they're all very possessive, controlling, paranoid, lacking trust in one another. I mean, literally, Amberlynn and Erica's relationship is based on like the shambliest, is that a word? The most shambly of like trust, okay? There's not a lot of trust there. It's literally built on the fact that like Erica was a hater to begin with and that she was in this marriage open or not. And so like this all comes from like not trusting people, and to me doesn't sound like they're necessarily concerned about the safety of their partners or their mistresses, you know what I'm saying? And also Erica like fully explained to Amberlynn that the reason that she was on 360 is because her wife didn't trust her or was concerned about her cheating.
She told me that she has Life 360, and I was like, what is that? Because I had never heard of it. And she was like, Brittany wants to track wherever I go because she thinks I'm cheating on her.
That's a red flag, Amberlynn! Red flag! Red flag! And then on top of that, Amber like fully claims that like Erica was doing all of the things that Erica claimed that Amberlynn was doing.
Because anytime I would leave my house, she would get a notification that I left my house, and she would say, where are you going? What are you doing? She would also Google addresses.
So it sounds like they both were just like constantly monitoring one another, which is also just like, what are y'all doing all day? Like, what are you spending your time doing that you're spending like hours on the phone with each other? You're monitoring each other's movements. You're paying attention to every single move your partner makes. Like, that is insane. I could never want to spend that much of my time on my partner, and I love Noel to death. I love Noel to death, and I absolutely do not need to spend every minute of my day talking to him. I don't need to be aware of his location at all hours of the day because I would drive myself insane. I have so many other interests outside of Noel that like make me who I am, and I'm gonna spend my time doing those things, and then I'm gonna really enjoy the time that we do get together. She also makes a claim that Erica has like this side to her that is genuinely scary, and then her homegirl Alexis chimes in.
Like, Erica has a side to her that is scary. Genuinely scary. And you can ask Alexis. Genuinely scary. Like,
I literally told you not to date her.
Oh wait, say how scary?
Like, she says the worst things you could possibly say to another human being, especially someone you're supposed to love.
Yes. Thank you. Like, some of the things that she would say to me, it made me fearful. I'm not gonna lie.
Tell them.
I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not going to tell them what she said to me. No.
And I do just want to know, Amberlynn always does this thing where she's like, oh yeah, you could totally ask this person in my life who's totally not biased whatsoever, and you can trust them when they tell you what I'm saying you is true. Saying you is true. Saying to you is true. Now, presumably, at least what I understand is that Alexis doesn't even fucking live in Oklahoma with Amberlynn, let alone wherever Erica lives. So how can Alexis speak to the truth and validity of whatever Amberlynn is saying? Because the only thing that Alexis knows is whatever Amberlynn Reed told her. And of course, this is just classic Amberlynn where she teases this out but won't actually tell us about it. I'm honestly just like, why bring it up at all then? Why bring it up at all then? I feel like if anything, she's bringing it up to be like, Erica, you better check what you're saying because I've got some more stuff on the back burner that I would love to say about you. And if you say anything wrong, I will bring this up as well. It feels like like a threat.
In fact, actually thinking about it, it feels very similar to the time that she kept saying, like, there's so many things I could say about Destiny, but I'm not going to. And then eventually, because Destiny didn't stop talking about her, she's like, well, Dana's dad killed their dog. So it feels very much like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's holding on to something that's, like, not very good for Erica or doesn't look good for Erica, just to hold on to it to threaten her with.
Amberlynn also says that Erica did tell her that she shouldn't be talking to certain people in her life.
And she very much paid close attention to people I talked to. And she very much did tell me to stop talking to person A, person B, person C, and person D. Like, she did tell me to do those things. And I respect my partner. So if my partner tells me, like, don't talk to these people because of reason A, reason B, reason C, then I'm literally going to listen.
I think the first thing I want to say is, like, girl, you literally showed text to yourself on your last video where you fully were acknowledging that, like, you weren't giving enough attention to your friends because you were fully focused on Erica and that you were making the choice to ignore them. Like, those texts didn't mention anything about Erica telling you not to, which I guess you could have just been trying to protect Erica from your friends. But, like, it totally makes sense to me that you're the girly that gets 100% invested in their partner and ignores the people around you. But let's say it is true. It is true that Erica, told you not to talk to these people, and you decided that because your partner told you not to talk to somebody and you respected her so much that you chose not to talk to them about that. That's not a healthy relationship. It is weird that you think that this is a sign of a normal relationship where there's mutual respect. Miss me ever listening to a partner tell me that I'm not allowed to talk to people in my life that I care about. It's over. If Noel ever came and was like, stop talking to your friend Janine, don't ever talk to your friend Adam again, I would be like, sir, you better back the fuck up. Like, it is over. Like, you're really ready to end friendships with people for a woman who won't even end her marriage for you? Please be so fucking serious right now. I will also say somebody in the chat at one point points out that Amberlynn herself said that she liked a possessive person. Which is funny because, like, why are you acting surprised then that Erica's possessive over you and doesn't want you to talk to certain people and needs to know where you're at any given time and is Googling addresses to where you've gone and visited? Y'all are literally perfect for each other. Y'all really did match each other's freak. She does bring up June 9th, which is when Erica said that her uncle died. And, of course, Amberlynn starts this off saying, like, I was so supportive. I was so understanding. I was there for her.
June 9th, her uncle dies, and she immediately tells me. And I'm like, oh my God, babe, like, I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. I love you. Like, I wish I could give you a hug. If you need anything, like, that I am here. I'm like one message away, one call away.
Which really doesn't track, with her record of how we know, at the very least, how she treated Beck when Beck's mom passed away. But she also just, like, negates all of that very quickly when she starts talking about how Erica disappeared off the planet.
So she responded like she usually does, and then all of a sudden she just, like, disappears, like, off of the face of the planet. That was hard for me because I didn't understand it. I know that she was going through heartbreak and, like, mourning and grieving. Like, that's really sad. Like, her uncle died, and I'm not going to go into details, like, how that happened, but, like, it's, like, also the way it happened is just, like, devastating. And for days, she just wouldn't talk to me. And that wasn't the norm. That wasn't part of our pattern. And as someone with BPD, it mentally was messing with me.
I don't know, Amberlynn. Maybe she just wasn't as attentive to you because she was mourning the loss of a loved one. You think it was hard for you to go without hearing back from Erica immediately whenever you wanted her attention? Did you ever stop to think about how hard it might be to lose somebody that you care about, like actually lose somebody because they died? And very important here, she says that it messed with her BPD, which, like, go see a therapist, Amberlynn. But she says that this whole ordeal messed with her BPD. And then she also says and admits that Erica wasn't even fully ignoring her, because Amberlynn is like, yeah, she sent me little nuggets. She sent me little tiny things, like saying she'd send me texts saying she loved me, that she missed me.
She would give me these little tiny breadcrumbs of like, I miss you. I love you. You know, she would do that. Of course, it was like a few days of that.
I'm sorry, what? So she wasn't completely ignoring you? She didn't, in fact, actually leave from the face of the planet or whatever you said? And then she brings up how Erica said that Amberlynn had a BPD freakout in this situation and claims that Erica's lying about that.
Her saying how, like, after we broke up, how I kept messaging her and I was having a BPD freak out. That's a lie.
But she literally just got done blaming her BPD for why she was so upset that Erica wasn't messaging her. But yeah, essentially, just like Erica said, that was the beginning of the end for the relationship. They talked it through, and essentially they decided to part ways. Or just be friends. I think Amberlynn was trying to say that, like, they agreed that they were just going to be friends, which I think Erica actually said is what Amberlynn had said to her. And Amberlynn was committed to just trying to be friends, but apparently that wasn't something that could work out for them. Amberlynn also says that the first time Brittany called, that she was actually super sweet and that she agreed that, like, Amberlynn wasn't the first person that Erica cheated on her with and wouldn't be the last, and that the second phone call was completely recorded without Amberlynn's knowledge. And yeah, that was about the first hour of the stream, and then she transitions into a Q&A situation type of deal. I've sprinkled some stuff from the Q&A parts into other parts where it made sense, where we were already talking about certain subjects. But here's just some other things that she randomly answered at the end of her live stream. One point, she tries to suggest that Emily and Brittany might have some kind of kink for things like this.
As a way to help her marriage. I don't know if this is some sort of like kink that they have, because I know, I don't kink shame, but I know they have their own little situation type deal going on that is wild to me.
And I was just like, girl, you should not be bringing up anybody having any kind of whatever kink right now, considering the Tommy Salami stuff, the feederism stuff. Like, I don't know if you want to go into the territory of talking about kinks. Let's just be very fucking serious. The one part where she briefly brought up Tommy Salami was her clarifying the timeline of when she ended her relationship with Erica and started talking to Tommy.
So I just want to say one thing about Tommy, and this is where it literally ends, because you guys have, like, when I say you guys, obviously I don't mean everybody, but, like, I hate YouTube right now. I hate YouTube right now. I was fully in love with this person. Like, I haven't been happier. But the timeline that y'all have made up is not real. Tommy first messaged me on June 18th. Me and Erica broke up 3 days before that.
So you're telling me, Amberlynn, that after a breakup, you met this woman 3 days later, and you knew her for a month, and this was just the love of your life. She was perfect. She was the greatest person you ever met? Red flag, red flag, red flag. Have you learned yet, Amberlynn? This is what red looks like. This is red. This is the color red. I also want to note that she talks a lot about how she thinks that Erica and Brittany are going to bring up a lot of other stuff that she thinks is unfair and unrelated to her relationship with Erica.
They can say what they want, and I'll be here to, like, confirm or deny, because I'm here to literally admit my my wrongdoings. Like I am. I think what's going to be wrong is if they bring other people in the situation. That's when I know that, like, not only are they bad people, liars, trolls, cheaters, but like they're just doing this to be dirty. Because it's like, if you bring in any of the people in my life or bring in anyone I've talked about from my past, like, you're just being gross. This isn't about me anymore. This is about something a little deeper. And like, that's wrong, because I'm not going to, like, I know things about them. I know things about both of them, especially Erica. Are you joking? Like, I'm not going to sit here and like reveal all their like dark secrets and stuff. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about a homewrecker. This is about a cheater. This is about people trolling. Like, that's what this is about. This isn't about anything other than that, you know? So
it's like she's already planning for some bad shit to come out, which I think also goes back to why she was kind of putting out this veiled threat of like, oh yeah, Erica's actually a really scary person. And I'm not going to talk about it, but she's really scary. Like, she really doesn't want something else to come out. Like, Amberlynn knows that there's something about her that could come out that she just doesn't want to be revealed yet. And then the only other thing that is really particularly interesting in this last part of the live stream is just Amberlynn multiple times claiming that she doesn't want to be on YouTube and that she wants to go do something else. She's tired of YouTube. She's going to find a job doing something else.
I don't feel the same about YouTube anymore. And a lot of people have thought that I have felt that way for years, but I haven't. I've always loved YouTube. Always. No matter what I've been through, here on YouTube, I have always loved it. Like, I love it so much. And finally, in this last like couple weeks, I've realized like I'm not meant to be here on YouTube. I'm not meant to be on YouTube.
And I do just want to say, I think there's a world where she could be on YouTube and not have the problems that she has, or at least not have them in the way that she has them. She doesn't take a lot of accountability for how she got here. I mean, she doesn't even really take full accountability of how she got here with this Erica situation, right? She could have saved herself all the trouble of the Erica stuff had she like fully just not said Erica's name in a video. And she certainly could have handled the Tommy Salami situation differently as well. But even then, like, I think she could also just experience YouTube in a completely different way if she like even tried to work on her BPD and in the setting of like a mental health facility or with a therapist or something like that. And then she could find a way that she could be on the YouTubies and not have the issues that she does. Like, I do imagine that YouTube is a scary, crazy place for somebody who has BPD. Like, I don't think that it would be easy to have that diagnosis and be a YouTuber. And I think she really owes it to herself, if she does want to keep doing YouTube, to, like, take some time to try to work on that. I really mean it when I say I'm a big advocate of her logging the fuck off, and yet she's still here. She's still here, still addressing this stuff. I thought she would have logged off after the Tommy Salami breakup, and then she came back to share the Erica stuff, and now she's sitting on a live stream for 2 hours and 20 minutes addressing the Erica stuff again with promises of like, oh, if I have to, I'll come back and say more. That doesn't really sound like a person who's ready to give YouTube up, to me, personally. It doesn't sound like somebody who doesn't feel like YouTube is good for their mental health or things like that. Like, you're literally on YouTube airing your dirty laundry about an affair that you participated in. And you think that your time on YouTube is going to be great? I'm going to say it's probably not. You could have said nothing about any of this on the YouTube. We only know about this because you brought Erica up. I mean, I fully ignored when Miss Brittany was in my DMs trying to expose you for this back in November. All right, so like, it's possible other people would have also continued ignoring her. And I also want to say she says all of this while also still going to reaction channels and participating in their chats during live streams. And specifically, I know we're not covering the live stream that Jordy did, the second live stream that Jordy did with Erica and Brittany. But she was in the chat for that, and we know she watched the first one because she was DMing Jordy about it while he was live. So, like, allegedly these reaction channels are causing you such a big issue and you hate YouTube because of them, but yet you're going into their channels and enjoying it. Like, I don't know. For me, I'm not convinced that she really has any plans to like leave YouTube behind. I think it would be a good idea. I think it would be a good idea to take a break from all of this, but I don't see it happening. So yeah, basically she ends the stream just saying like if she has to address more in the future, she will. And like I said, Erica and Brittany did go live last night with Jordy. Apparently they ended up having issues on their own YouTube channel that they couldn't figure out, so they just went live with Oh Lordy, it's Jordy again. I do plan on watching that. I will write down my thoughts about it. I think it was actually, at least the time that he was like actually on call with them, I think it was only like an hour worth of content. So a little bit more digestible for me. Hopefully won't have to go through it as long, but I knew if I included it in this video, this would be a nearly 2-hour long video, and I wanted to make sure I could get you something up for Friday. So be on the lookout, and also, like, I'm sure even while I'm filming this or while I'm editing that more will develop, so just stay tuned. I'm going to try to keep you as informed as possible, and also, like, feel free to see what's happening on other reaction channels and stuff like that as well. That's all I have time for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did and you're brand new here, consider subscribing. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!